patties you got? Oh, I've been trying to find something that's already cooked. Do they sell them? You them out? But they sell chicken like that. But I can't find any patties. Oh, it doesn't? Not good. Yeah. Yeah, I've had that before. You got to try it yourself, huh? I gotta run through. For what? Oh, you gonna give me all the papers? Okay, great. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Let's talk about books for a moment. You want to know one of the best books I've ever read in my lifetime? You want to be very, very honest about it. Are you ready? It's called The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice, and it is by yours truly, Sherman Me. Sherman. Get the book. Get it. Again, I want to thank each one of you in San Jose, California, all of my friends in Phoenix, Arizona, those of you in Los Angeles, those in Sacktown. I want to thank all of you, everybody around the world who's listened to the podcast. I told y'all, I don't lie to you now. I got a lot of issues just like everybody else, shortcomings and all of that. But one of my shortcomings is not lying. If I tell you that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I told you the more you all responded, the more you all that listened in, the more you all that emailed me and told me you were listening, text message me and tell me you're listening, the more podcasts we would do. And today is a historical day for the Sherman D. Manning podcast, in that it is the largest listening audience I have ever podcasted to in my lifetime. The largest audience I have ever podcasted to in my lifetime came today. So you all did exactly what I asked you to do. You did exactly what I prayed that you would do. And so first and foremost, I thank Jehovah Rapha. I thank Almighty God through his son Jesus Christ for giving me access to you and giving you access to these platforms that we're coming to you on, these 7 streams, if you please, that we're coming to you on. And then secondly, I thank you so very, very much for tuning in and for telling a friend. And I'm going to have to ask you, would you please be kind enough to let's start back reading again. That's first and foremost. We got to get folk back to reading. Literacy is extremely important. And the more you read, the more you can lead. Readers are leaders. I was talking with a brother today. I think it's called Testimonial Cathedral Church. I do know that Bishop J.B. Hackworth is the pastor. Bishop J.B. Hackworth. I made a wrong turn into the church parking lot. Funny story, and I got out and put one of our Black Men Rising Second Chance campaign flyers on the only car in the parking lot. And before I could get back in my car good, somebody yelled out of the church window and said, "Hey, what is that?" And I said, "Oh, it's just a flyer. Are you the pastor?" And the guy yelled back and said, "No, I'm security." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Just wait a minute. Let me come down there." As if I was going to run off or something. I said, "Come right on down, my brother." And so I waited on him to come down. And instead of the security coming down, another guy came down. Turned out his name was Elder Gaskin, Gaskin. We ended up talking for 20 minutes. He knew Jasper Williams in Atlanta. He knew a lot of the churches that I had spoken for, preached at, etc. And he was extremely interested in Black Men Rising and the Second Chance campaign that we're doing. And it turns out that he was a CYA counselor himself, California Youth Authority. So he's like a prison guard himself back in the day. And so I explained to him, I said, "Can you really tell me that you don't think God ordered my steps?" Oh, God, if I had time to tell you all about how he'll order your steps. And so he wanted me to make the wrong turn, because it turned out that what I thought was the wrong turn was really the right turn. And it's just that God is bigger than me, and he's better than me. And he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to do it. He can do it, and he will do it. And so he ordered my steps to get me to Testimonial Cathedral Church at that time, in that place, for a reason. He wanted me to meet Bishop Gaskin. And it is my belief that very soon Elder Gaskin. And it's my belief that very soon I will meet Bishop J.B. Hackworth, and that we will establish a friendship and we can do some things together. So pray on that. But anyway, the main thing I came to tell you was, please tell your loved ones and your friends to get a copy of The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Get it at Amazon.com. Order it at your local bookstores. And get some of the other books that we've written, i.e. American Dream, A Search for Justice, Kids Killing Kids, Creating Monsters, the only fiction that I've written, Blue-Eyed Blonde. Get those books. Put them in your home. Put them in your life. Put them in your library. Share them with your family. Share them with kids. These books are transformational. Not just because I wrote them, and not just because I'm the best writer or anything like that, but because God is the best God and the only God. And he was ordering my steps as I wrote those books. And there's anointing on the pages of those books. And they will transmogrify. They will transform lives. They will cause a metamorphosis to take place in this country and in this world if more of you get copies of them. The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice, as well as all of the other books that we have available on Amazon.com. We reissued a lot of them, especially the ones that people kept asking about. So now that they're out, please be kind enough to go to Amazon.com and bless your life, bless your family, bless your friends, bless the young people in your life with copies of those books. And again, you know what we're asking. We're asking you to please tell your friends and your enemies and your loved ones. Go to Facebook. Almost everybody listening to me right now has a Facebook page. Probably everybody. Post a link to our podcast on your Facebook site. Tell your friends, your enemies, your loved ones, and those who are in between. Tell them, hey, check out the Sherman D. Manning podcast and listen to what this brother has to say. And also inspire them, encourage them, motivate them, inform them to go to YouTube and look at our new videos that are up. Don't click on podcasts because there's a lot of audio on YouTube from me. But you can get that on Spreaker.com. Go look at the videos that we've posted. And we have one that should be posted within the hour. You'll see me in all black. Okay, so look for that video also. I love you so much. God bless you. Keep hope alive. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. God can do the almighty through the least likely. Beams of heaven, as I go through this wilderness below, guide my feet in peaceful ways. Turn my midnights into days. I don't know how long it'll be, nor what the future holds for me, but one thing I do know. If Jesus leads me, I shall be free. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for tuning in. Pray for me. Pray that God will continue to bless this audience, that he will bless your moderator, and that he will bless all of those who are at home doing the same thing you're doing right now, which is listening to the podcast. To my counselor at Donovan State Prison, young lady or young man, whoever you are, you know who you are. You know your gender, you know your identity, you know your nationality, you know your ethnicity. Thanks for tuning in. And I know you're on Facebook. Tell your buddies to tune in also. Tell some of those prison guards down there to tune in. Tell some of those counselors to tune in. Put a link. Go to chit.com. I think that's the website you told me about where prison guards go to all the time. Chit.com, CHIT.com. I think that's what it is. Put a link on. Tell those prison guards to listen in. They'll never know who you are, but they can know who I am. And tell them I said I'm a gangbanger for God. And I remember them, and I know them, and I know about the Green Wall. I know about 723. I know about the Code of Silence. I know about the California Correctional Peace Officers Association, which is the thug organization. And I also know that there are some good correctional officers. Some of them do their jobs, like the counselor that I know. Unfortunately, it's not a whole lot of them, but there are some. They exist. People who do their job, who just go to work, do their job, and go home. They don't go there to abuse anybody. They don't go there to mistreat anybody. They don't go there to misuse anybody. And that is all you can ask for. I'm not really on this team that supports abolishing prisons. I'm not I'm a pragmatist. We ain't gonna abolish no doggone prisons. We need to stop building so many, and we need to stop sending so many people to prison for such little crimes for so long. We really need to do that. But as far as we're going to abolish prison and no more jails and all of that, the rhetoric sounds good, but it's not pragmatic, it's not realistic, and I'm not with it. I don't have time to play games. I want attainable goals. I want things that we can do that are strategic, things that we can do that are logical. And so there's always going to be prisons, and there's always going to be the need to have some guards to guard the prisons. And all I want those guards to do is do what they said on paper: serve and protect. I want them to protect the public safety. I want them to protect inmates from each other and protect inmates from doing anything that might harm some staff member also. I'm Sherman, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Please, please, please go to YouTube and look at our videos. Please, please, please get a copy of The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice, and tell your friends to listen to this podcast. Thank you so very kindly. And for doing what you've already done today, making this a day in history, I'm going to give you a round of applause.